G'day guys, how you going? I'm just gonna start a new series called Mod Overhaul, and it basically is I'm gonna give a couple of pointers, a bit of advice on how we're gonna how you should, depending on what situation, obviously, we should mod characters. So I'll try and do a couple of videos at a time. We'll see how I go. But today we're gonna start off with Lord Vader, and how you should mod them, how you can mod them, and what are some of the main points that you should take away from this. So hopefully it's only like a 10-minute video per character. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm going to go through per shape, if that relates to you. What stats we should be looking at for, what benchmark points we want to be at, and I'll explain some battle scenarios and stuff like that that will be helpful in those situations. So we'll start off with the arrow, and basically for Lord Vader, he does take a long time to charge up. So that's one of the things about Lord Vader. He only really gains ultimate charge from his Dark Hamburger ability, depending on how many stacks of I think it's underestimated he has. He gets 1% per stack. So if he's got 60, which is his max of underestimated stacks, he'll get 60% when he does Dark Harbinger. So, and I think he also gets a percent of ultimate charge when he's hit with a debuff or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but so there's really two ways you can mod Lord Vader. Both ways include a lot of speed and durability. So the way I've modded him is speed and health, but you can also mod him for speed and offense. So I did mention him a couple of videos ago. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name. Jakina, great guy. He does his Lord Vader's modded for crit damage and primarily offense, I think. So I don't know if you've seen a couple of his latest videos. His Lord Vader literally just one-taps characters, which is just insane. So if you want extreme power like that, I would advise going crit damage and offense sets, but in both scenarios it really just comes down to getting that second or third ultimate. Either way, you're going to have enough damage to overpower the enemy team. So I'll explain what I've got right now, and then I'll explain on what I did have, which was based off Jakina's mods, how he went. So so I've got here, I'll bring up a little slide I've got up here. So our key stats that we want to kind of be looking for is protection primaries, because in his leadership, I think it is, he combines his health and protection into one massive pool. So because protection has a max primary of 24%, you're able to get a bigger combined health and protection pool. So unlike health, at its max is only 16%. So you're getting an extra, what, 8% durability. And so we can see that here if we bounce back over. So for protection here, you get a 24% max. So when you upgrade your mod to 6E, 6 dot for the first time, it's going to be maxed out at 24% for protection. I think I'll pull up see if I've got a health one around here, like Grievous. So once he hits 6 dot, the health, it only goes to 16%. So there's a few characters that really like the health, like Grievous for example, but in this case we just want Lord Vader to be as thick as possible, and because protection gives that higher max percent, it's common sense then to use protection as his primary, because he has a bigger health and protection pool. So we'll flick over. So that's kind of what you want. You don't want really health sets, you want protection sets. We also, I think I just touched on this quickly, we want a heap of speed because we want a fast ult. Lord Vader does take a while to charge up as it is, and being as fast as possible will only help the process be quicker, because you don't want to be sitting around for 4.5 minutes and only being able to, you know, have gone through 1.5 ults or something like that. So we want to try and get as much speed as in him as possible, and hence why I've got the speed set here for the extra 20 speed you get from a set. right here, you can, if you don't have a good speed secondary, I was using this mod here, I think. You can definitely go for 32 on a arrow. That's perfectly fine. If you do, however, have a decent mod here, like I've got a 26 on a secondary, which isn't 32, but it's pretty close. So, and you can get a protection instead. You're just boosting more of your durability, so you get the better ends, if you know what I mean. So, if you can afford that, that's great. But in the meantime, if you don't have a mod just like what I've got here, definitely just go for the speed arrow. You want as much speed as possible. I think I've got mine at somewhere 70. Yeah, so you want him to be above 570. Is a good zone to be around, as fast as you can get him, because you want to be able to get those ults quickly. Usually you'll be one of the fastest Galactic Legends, I believe, depending on how people mod them. But you want Lord Vader insanely fast. So most of my mods here are above 20. On most of them, I've got a nice 27 there. I've got a 19 here. It's probably slowing me down a bit. Otherwise, 24. I think I got another 25 there and a 26 here. So again, relating to one of our key stats we want to be looking for is definitely protection. I've got a protection arrow, protection triangle, protection cross, and a protection circle. Which, as you can see, my Lord Vader's only over like 7, but he's already over 216,000 protection. And once he combines that with his health, you're looking at 330,000 health and protection combined, not even including like his leadership ability that I think gives like 15 or something% of max health. I can't quite remember. So you definitely want protection. You get way more, and try and get as much speed secondaries into the guy as possible. If you don't have a good speed secondary on your arrow, don't worry about it. Just put on a speed primary and try and get some protection in your secondaries if able. I think this one's got a decent one, yeah. On this one, Thrawn would be a better idea, his mod anyway. So you have a bit of protection there to make up for that 24% loss. So that's kind of the two main things you want, especially with this build, is speed and durability. We'll quickly flick over to my slide here. And some secondary stats you can be looking for is definitely potency and offense. CD's crit damage as well. So that leads into Jakena's builds. But we'll flick over back here. So potency is nice because on Lord Vader's Dark Harbinger ability, he can apply healing immunity and buff immunity, which, if timed right, can be very helpful in a variety of situations. So inflict buff immunity and healing immunity, which can be resisted. That's why you want potency on the guy. I think I'm pretty sure his dots and days are unresistible. Yeah. So you don't need potency for this ability. It's more for just the healing immunity and buff immunity. And I don't think he doesn't apply anything on his basic. But most of the debuffs he apply can't be resisted. So potency is not on the high list, but it's just something nice you can use for your healing immunity and buff immunity. Also, another thing I was talking about is offense or crit damage. So if you're able to get this protection primary with the speed secondary, I would definitely go. If you want a little bit more damage, you can definitely put a crit damage set here. Where is it? I had it here somewhere. I think Thrawn's got it. Yeah, so you can definitely, if you want more damage, you can put a crit damage primary here if you got a decent amount of speed and protection to make up for that loss. So I think this is what I was previously running. Whatever floats your boat, really. It doesn't really matter in the end. I opted for more protection just because I want to survive a lot longer, especially in those scenarios where you're doing a solo, maybe against Supreme Leader Kylo Ren or Sith Eternal. You really just want to survive until you get your second or third ultimate where you start crushing them. But definitely, if you want to go crit damage on the triangle, that is fine, as long as you still have your 3 protections on your arrow, your cross, and your circle. You can only really afford to lose, in this kind of build anyway, one protection primary. Same goes for basically the circle and the cross here. You want protection and as much speed as possible. I wouldn't put a potency on the cross here. You don't need that 30%. It's not worth it. Just go straight for protection, not anything else. That's all you want. And these are self-explanatory here. You can only have offense and defense here, and as much speed, potency, flat offense or percent offense is fine. Health is fine as well because it all just combines in the end, and protection percent is also lovely. So that is probably what most people are running as a speed and durability set. But there's also a build that Jakina runs, which is crit damage and I believe it's health as well. So this, I'll just show you what I was previously running on my Lord Vader, which I have a saved loadout for. And honestly, it is fine. You can run this one. I was running it for a while, and it's interesting. You lose a lot of durability, but you gain so much damage. So I'm not sure exactly how Jakina builds his for. He might go full out offense on his. Obviously, you have offense on your square, but maybe on his triangle and arrow and cross, he might have offense, which is, yeah, he's gonna hit like crazy when he hits his second ult. But I still wanted to be able to survive to get to my second ult. So it obviously will help you if you have higher relics on your Lord Vader, but you can definitely go for crit damage offense. It's pretty much the same principle. If you want him hitting like an absolute truck, you can go straight for offense all the way. So offense here, offense here. You can go crit damage or offense here. I don't think it really matters. Crit damage might be better. And then offense here. But just remember, if you do that, you're going to lose a heap of durability. Like your protection probably will drop below 150,000, I could imagine. This stat here is even with 2 protection primaries here. I've got a speed here because once you take off that speed set, you're losing a heap of speed, and you really need a speed arrow to keep up if you want to be fast. But like if you want to just go full blown offense, I haven't tried it before. It might be well worth. I'm going to put a card on the top right hand corner so you can see Jakina's latest video on his Lord Vader just one tapping a JMK cat team. It's just insane. I've never seen something so crazy before. But guys, definitely check it out. Just quickly flick over here. Just run over what you basically want is, depending on how you build it, Lord Vaders can either be super offensive trucks, or they can be super fast and durable. So either which way, I think it's fine. Depends on what your kind of preference really. So you definitely want protection primaries if you're going for durability and speed set with high speed secondaries. You can have nice secondary stats like health, protection, offense, defense. Potency is also nice as well. If you opt for the crit damage set, you can probably do offense or crit damage set. That is fine. Whatever floats your boat really. But generally that's how you want to build your Lord Vader. Fast, durable, or you want him fast and heavy offense. So hopefully that gives you a little general idea, guys, on what you want to do for your Lord Vader. Hopefully I didn't apply these. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this one. I will probably post the second one out tonight before I go. Might be on one of the Bad Batch crew. Anyways, guys, appreciate you guys coming out, and I'll see you later.